How does SQL combine two tables? This video will answer the question. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at join in SQL, and simply I will put that a join in SQL is used to combine data from two or more tables using a related column. Think of it of like connecting two tables together to complete information. So join helps you to link tables together using a common column that is common in both tables that you are linking. Basically, we have four types of join. So we are going to be looking at, and I'll be explaining the four of them. Then I'll go deep with more examples. So we have inner join. What does it do? It returns only the matching record from both tables. When what is related to the both table is what inner join returns. Left join returns all the record from the left table and the matching record from the right table. Now let me explain what left table and right table means. Left table means the table you query before the join syntax, and the right table is the table you query after the join syntax. Okay, so my left join will return only all the record in left table and the matching record in the right table. Likewise, the right join will return all record from the right table and the matching record from the left table. Then the last of the list is full join. Full join returns all the record from both tables, whether they match or not. So having explained the types of joins, we are going to be creating a table. I'm going to create a table that we use to explain this further. All right. So before I go into creating this table, I know you have been following me in my previous video. If you have not watched my previous video on SQL, go to my page and watch them. And please like this video, share this video to anyone learning data analysis. It will be very, very helpful. Join is a very important topic in SQL. So I've already written out the query for creating the table. So all I need now is just to run the table, and we go ahead to do example of all type of joins. So I created a table. I'm going to be using two tables here to explain. So the first table is performance table. So this is the syntax. All I need to do is to run it. If you want to practice, you can pause and write the query by yourself. So I have successfully created the table. So let me insert into the table I just created. I'm going to insert into the table using this query here. The table I created is a performance table, and it shows the performance, the learning assimilation level of trainer of staff in an organization. So I'm going to insert into this table. Good. I've inserted into the first table, and let's look at the second table. This is the syntax. All I need to do now is just to create the table, the second table I want to be using. I'll create execute. It's created, and I'm going to insert into the second table. The second table is employee details table. So let me insert into the employee details table. Why I will not go deep into explaining how to create database, how to create table. I've already have a video on that. So check my page and watch how to do this in details. So I'm not going to be giving you do this. It's already in my page. Look at it. So I've created this video. So, I've created this second table. Right now, let's see what we created. The first table we created, select all from, I think that is the first table we created was, what table? Okay, it was a training performance 2. So this is the first table I created. So let me see what is inside there. I execute. This is it, student name, email, assimilation score, and performance. So this is it, first table I created. So let me see what is in the second table I created, which is employees details. Okay, it's already here. So I'm going to run this table and see what is there. Good. So the first table, okay, this is the total employee staff in that organization, their name, their email address, their department, age, and job title. Then that was a training, and these are the staff that attended the training. So they are here, the student's name, employee, assimilation level, and this. So we are going to be using inner join, left and right join to query this table. So that you can understand how those join works. So what I'm going to do now is let's assume I want to see everything I have. I want to combine the two tables together using inner join. Okay, let me just say inner join, my comments. So let me explain inner join now. Okay, I will say please pay attention. If you understand this first example, the rest will just be a walkover. So select all. I'll still select all so that you understand when I divert. Select all from training to. Then I'll now have inner join. Inner join it with employee, employee 2. Oh, now what we are going to join them with, what column do they have together? If you look at this is a if you look at this table, this is a training table. You have email address here, email. Then if I look at these two, you see that I have email. So the email is common both in the training performance table and employee table. So I'm going to be using it as a criteria to join both tables together. So watch as I continue with my query writing. So in a join with this table on, I'm going to use a keyword on training performance dot email, training performance 2 dot email equal to employee performance 2 dot email. So I've created a common ground for both of them. All right, so I'm going to run this query now to see how inner joint works. Then I'll go further to explain with more examples. So can you see that I have joined these two tables on the criteria of email, but check what is happening here. I have student name, email, aspirations score, and performance. This side of the table belongs to the training performance, and it's joined with employee name, email, department, job title, and the age. So this inner join has joined them together, and it gave me everything that is in the table because I use select all. Let's assume I don't want to use select all. I want to select some columns. So what I'm going to select, let's assume I will select student name, comma email, comma performance. This is coming from, these three things are coming from the training performance table. So let me bring in some from the employee table. I want to see their department. I also want to see their job title. Okay. All right. So can you see now? If you look at this query, you see that the email is giving me ambiguity here. If I run this query like this, it's going to show me error because there is an ambiguous statement in my ambiguous column name email. Why? Because this email exists both in the training performance table and in employee details table. So what I'm going to do now, which of the email do I want to reference? So since this is coming from the training performance, I'm going to put training performance beside the mail. I'm going to do training underscore performance dot email. Okay, my spelling for performance is okay. Can you see that I have to reference the training 2 email to reference to so that it's coming from the training performance table. So if I run this query now, it's going to give me a very good result. Good. Can you see that in this table it has referenced the student's name, email address, and performance, then joined it with the department and the job title of the employees table. That is the benefit. That is the how in inner joint works. So it selects the tables that are common. Now, if you remember, in this employees table, let me go back. In this training table, we have 5 students there. And this last person, Bold Yame, was not included in my query, of my inner query. This is because he is not an employee in this table. If you take employees table, he is not employed. He's not part of this company. That is why it was not selected. So inner joint select what is common to both table. So both table stopped at Joshua Sam. If you look at Victor Osime and Chidema Peace, they were not in this last inner. They were not in the inner joint because they did not attend the training, but they are staff. In the training performance, if both attended the training, maybe from another organization, He's not in this organization I'm using to do this database. I don't know if you get it. Good. If you like, if you understand, just react to this video that yes, you are following me, or just say yes, you got the point. So you can see that what inner join is that, as I explained before, it returns what is common to both tables. It returns what is common to both tables. So you can see they only give me 4 names instead of 6, or instead of 5, because the other 2 we are not in the training. There's another trick to this. If you look at this table, you see that it's very long. If I want to make this query very short, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give a name to my training performance and employee performance. Now, we assumed that the training, as I explained before in the beginning of the video, I said the first table you referenced before the join is referred to as your left table, while the table you refer after the join, just like here, my left table here is employee, is training performance, while my right table, which is after the join, is my employee table. Let's assume I just want to rename it. Instead of me to be referencing it as training table because it's long, I'm going to just label it as L. Then employee table where I reference this, I'll just label it as R. So what I'm going to do now, in those places where I had long training table, all I need to put there is just L. And I'll go here and change it to L. I'll come here and change this employee table to R. Good. I can equally come here and put L dot student name, L dot performance, then here R dot department, and here R dot job title. Good. But I'm okay with this. It will still work. So let's see if we get the same results. All right. So let me run. Let's see if we get the same results. Good. Can you see that it's the same thing? So we call it alias. This training performance I represented it with L, and this employee table I represented it with R. So with this, our query still remained the same, and it gave us the same output. I hope you have understood what inner join does. It returns the tables. It returns the columns that are the same in both tables. So having understood this inner join, let's proceed to outer join. No, let's proceed to left join. Sorry. So the next thing we're going to do now, let me just copy everything and I'll change it. So then the left join, we are going to talk about the left join. I need to leave now. Left. So what left is the same equation. All I need to do in this inner, I'm going to just change it to left. So let's see what happens when I run the equation, the query. Sorry, if I run this query, you see what happens. Good. Let me explain. Left will return everything that is in the left column. The left column here is training table, and in the query here, the student name, email, and performance are coming from the training table. It will return everything that's originally in that table. If you see now, we have both here, and to return everything on the left table and the corresponding or the matching columns in the right table. Now look at here. You have department and job title. If you look at bold, because he is not a member of this company, it will return it as null. It will return it as null because he attended the program, he attended the training, but it's not in the department. So it will return it as null. That's what left join does. It will return everything in the left table and the corresponding column name, and anyone that is not included, it will be return it as null. So that is that for left table. And then let's do the right table. I'm going to change it to right table, or right join, sorry. Then I'm going to name it as right. All right. So if I run this query now, it's going to return everything in the right table, and the non-responding or corresponding will be null in the left table. Remember, our right table here is employee table, and everything in employee, we have 6 of them, and it returns 6 names for us. So those 2 people that did not attend training, it returned them as null. So I don't know if you got the magic here. So it will return what is valid in his own table, and whatever that is not valid in the other table, it will return it as null. So this is the right table. And the last but not the least is still using the same query, is the full join. So I'm going to come and change it here and return it as full. Full will return everything that is on the table. If it does not match any other table, the other table, it will return it as null. So if I run this table now, anywhere that does not, if you combine, it will combine the full table, every content of both tables. If it does not correspond to any of them, it will return it as null. So let me run this query now, and let's see how it's going to give us the output. Can you see that this combined all the tables? Now we now have 7 names. Remember in training performance we have 5. Bold was there. Then the last one, we have the other workers, because they are not corresponding, to return it as null, and everything is included. So this is what full table, a full join can do for you. So I know you have understood this. So we looked at in the end, in the beginning of the table, I explained what join is: combining 2 tables together and creating a common ground on them. And I created this table to explain what left, right, full, and inner join is. I hope you've understood what this is in SQL. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Kindly leave a thumbs up, comment, and also follow me for more tutorial like this. See you in my next video. Still on join. See you in my next video. Bye.